Welcome to an Jugger tutorial special, this time an interview with our Spanish friend, colleague and Jugger Frego, who's doing the PlayJugger video streams and PlayJugger YouTube channel. Check it out, brilliant tutorials about everything concerning the Spanish Jugger and not only the Spanish ones. And today I have a very special topic, it's the Spanish rules. The Spanish rules are more or less like the German rules and other international rules, but there are important differences. Important to know, Spain is one of the most traditional jugger countries out there. They started in 2006 around and they just exploded. It was fascinating to see how more and more teams turned up, and they are really very, very active, one of the most active jugger countries. First of all, Frega, please, would you like to introduce yourself?
Well, hello everybody. Hello Ruben. Thanks for having me here. It's an honor. Well, I'm Fraga. I'm from Spain, from Aragon, Zaragoza. It might sound to you. I'm from the team Surferos del Ebro, and I'm also the creator and director of the PlayJugger channel. I started playing Jugger in 2015, 16, more or less. But it was just before COVID that I started to play it harder. And well, that's so. It's been already a year and a half since I started play Jugger. And here we are.
So as mentioned, there are two Spanish rulebooks, not just one. What about that?
That's right. In Spain, we are stubborn. So we have two rulebooks. There's the FEG, the Spanish Jugger Federation, that has the global nationwide rulebook, let's say. And there's the region where I live, Aragon, where is Zaragoza. That we have a little different rule set. Moreover, it's more the same, but they have a few important differences. For example, the kete is always a controversial point, and the fault system, it's also a debate topic in this Spanish two rulebooks. First of all, I have to say that sadly I've never played outside Spain yet. I intend to, but I do have made a little research, and here's a few things. So I'll talk about what I think they are the main differences.
First of all, of course, the pitch where people are playing, because in Germany we do have the octagonal field with the cut edges. How is it in Spain?
I think the field, it's the same in Spain. The line, the border, if it's considered outside the pitch, if you step on it, it counts as you are out.
Ah, okay.
It's the same in Germany?
Well, it was a matter of discussion for quite a time. Currently, it's when you touch the line, you are in the field. So when you're starting at 3-2-1 Jugger, and you are always already with one of your toes on the line, then it counts as an early start.
Here it's the opposite.
Okay, good to know.
Except in Zaragoza, that the line is always danger, always considered down, so better not step it.
What about the spars or Pompfen?
I have to mention, last week, the Spanish rulebook had a review. So we changed a few things. One of the importance is in Spain, there's now no plastic kete, always rope or so.
Interesting point there is, or annotation, in many tournaments in Germany, they won't accept nylon or plastic chains anymore as well. So when you go with a rope chain, you're on the safe side in Germany as well.
Okay, now it's official in Spain. You cannot play anywhere. And the padding it has to be a 6 centimeters of width.
Same here.
Oh no, there's no longer any rings on the tips of the weapons.
So no cuffs around the end, the tip end.
Yeah, that's right. It
Okay.
has to be plain.
Okay, it has to be.
Yeah, you cannot have any rings or external paddings. Except maybe there's an exception with the Q-tip. The part where the grip meets the edge, it has to be a minimum 1 centimeter difference of the step.
Okay.
So if your Q-tip doesn't meet the requirements, you can put a little ring to make it at least 1 centimeter of radius difference.
Do you know why cuffs have been sort of banned or taken out of the consideration?
I guess people didn't like for the chain to wrap, or maybe to get some advantage in the grips. It's for not to have a special, more defense.
Okay.
For say.
That's very different to Germany. We have 7 centimeter diameter at the point. So you don't actually have to have a cuff in Germany as well. That's true. But the point has to be 1 centimeter bigger, all in all, in diameter than the normal padding. And usually you achieve this by putting on a cuff and putting in the point, which I personally prefer, because then the point is protected from ripping off much better than if you just put it down on the tube insulation and that's it, and sort of only wrap around tape.
It's more safe.
Except for special tape. There are kinds of tapes that are reportedly as strong, or even better, I don't know, but as strong as a good foam cuff. So I personally prefer the cuff to it, for safety measures and for practical measures, because the tips or the points just hold better. But okay, it's very interesting that that's different, and I think that could be a topic for the WCC, because as said, because of this, many German spars do have cuffs as a
I
standard.
heard about that, and I think they were thinking just about it because it could be a problem. So they may not be very pointy about this special topic.
Very good. Okay, we'll see. In any case, I would recommend our viewers to check out the measurements again by the measurements charts, just to be sure that all the minimum and maximum requirements are met, as said, with the minimum length of the hit zone and the hit zone padding, and as here the points and stuff like that, so that there are no differences when you travel there with your gear and get a surprise. That would be so
Right.
nice. So taking it in by plane, so okay, and then you can't use it, would be a bit of a shame. So check it out in every case. What about the pommel? So at the grip end, the short padding, is there anything there? Because in Germany we have a pommel regulation that you have to have a soft pommel where you can't feel the core rod through.
Oh yeah, here the same. You can, if you make pressure on the end, you can feel the sole of the Pompfen.
Is there anything with the chains that the chain ball doesn't have to be taped or has to be taped or stuff like that?
I think if the ball cannot be 100% covered with tape, I think, to make it softer.
Yeah. Okay.
But well, if the ball is soft and it's not a safe issue, I don't think they will say any problem.
Good, very good. Anything else that you would like to mention concerning the spars or Pompfen there?
I think not. Well, they are changing the shield crafting, but I'm not sure about the exactly changes they are making, because they were debating about the hand shields that some people tend to make shields very wide, so you put the hand, which is a valid hit zone, the shield hand.
The hand is not a hit zone in Germany. Sorry.
Oh, it's
For the
not.
shield.
It's not.
No,
No.
no.
In Spain, yes, the hand that holds the shield, it's valid zone.
Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So they are trying to regulate that it's not an excessive advantage to have it too much covered.
Okay. In Germany, the hand becomes a hit zone with the, I think 2020 rule book or something, doesn't matter. As soon as you do not hold on a sparse grip.
Yeah,
So
here
as
the same.
soon as you get loose, it's a valid hit zone.
Yeah, it's the same.
Okay.
And how the chain?
The chain's hands and the quick's hands, including the Jugg, if the quick holds the Jugg, are valid hit zones.
Okay, here's the same then.
Yeah. Or concerning the shields, just as a side note, as a shield player, I would feel, or with my center grip shields, I feel more comfortable when I can grip the shield right in the padding. So when my grip goes, or my handle or grip is inside the shield's padding and not outside, because then I have more of a lever, which I do not want, and I don't have as much control over the shield than when the hand is really stuck in the shield, sort of. So this, if that is already regulated in Spain, that would be a point where I would say I think the German regulation that the hand doesn't matter is still better, because not because of the hit zone, but of the much better control that I have over the shield from flapping, or the whole handling is better. I mean, there's a reason why there was a shield boss on Viking shields, for example, and they didn't put door handles on it.
Yeah, you still can have the grip inside the shield, but not your hand fully covered.
Okay.
Or to say. In Spain now it's 10 players. Of course, you can have more players outside the game, but in the game you can have maximum 10 players. And it's I don't know how to say this. When something is happening more and more often with the time, the trend nowadays is to have more players in a team, because the games that we play, last tournaments are becoming longer.
Oh, okay.
For example, this past weekend, normally a Jugger game, it's 2 parts of 100 stones.
Okay.
Right? Last weekend, there were 2 parts of 200 stones each part.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
so,
cool. Sounds good.
It's cool, but you end up tired. But you play a lot more.
We had sort of a Berlin league in 2007 or something, or 2008, and we played, my team Falco Jagger, we played against Skull from Berlin, another Berlin team, of course. And it was sun, and it was about 30 degrees or something, and we played with sets. I think it was a best of 5 or best of 7 or something. It took 3/4 of an hour, the whole game, from start to finish. So that was really a bit demanding.
Yeah. Last summer we played, there was 2 parts of 150 stones each part. And in my team, we were only 6 persons, but if one game, I don't know why, we just were 5. I almost died because
that's cool. Yeah,
a lot of heat.
Imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really tough. I mean, 150 stones per half, that's a final, the standard final format for time games in Germany.
Yeah.
Before we had 3 halves of 100 stones, but then it had been changed to 2 halves of 150. So
the opening, we start the middle referees as the quicker to be ready. They count 10 stones. They warn you at 5. And at the 10, well, you can raise your hand if you are ready earlier. But if not, at the 10th stone, the 3-2-1 Jugger, and with Jugger, you enter the game.
Very good. So there was a discussion in the current rule changes of the 2023 rulebook about opening the game, how you should introduce it with attention 3-1 Jugger or attention Jugger or whatever, but that really didn't come to a good conclusion. So I think currently it's quite usual here to count down from 20 or from 10, depending on the referee. If one team gets ready, then you start counting down from 5, for example. That's not set, so that's not a fixed rule, but it's quite usual. And then you open with attention 3-1 Jagger. And even if both quicks take their hands up, then it's attention 3-1 Jagger directly, so that you can start directly and don't have to wait. So it's pretty similar to Spain, I think. The more precise rules while the game is ongoing.
Okay. That's a important discussion point here in Spain. One thing is what the rulebook says, and another thing is what people really does.
I know.
According to the rulebook, if there is physical contact between players, it's called charge, and you go down. Not between the same team players. If I step into my company, we can both continue. Most people, if you hit someone with your body, but it's very briefly and it's nothing important, no one says anything. And generally in high class matches, if the two teams are going harder, let's say, the referees became permissive to more physical contact. But if we follow the rule book, with any contact, we should say charge. Important point. No one agrees never with this rule, because there's people who think that it should be more contact, always penalizing dangerous situations, but that should be more contact. Other people think that it should stay as it is. No one is happy with the rule, but there's no any agreements either. So there we are. In Murcia, for example, the latest tournament, we play with no charges. There was what we call dangerous game. You may establish physical contact, but if it's something that puts anyone in danger, you can put him down. But it depends on the referee. I saw things that were serious and no one said a word about it. But there were other games that they stopped at a reasonable point. So now it's a ethereal topic.
Pins. What about that?
Oh, dual source can pin two people.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know. In German, it's the same or no?
It has been discussed but turned down.
Yeah, we established this, I think, 2 years ago, and it's fine, because as they used to have a little range, and it's harder to play short source. People don't use them so often. So at least you have a tactical advantage, and so it's nice.
Okay, and you have good experience with it.
Yeah, double pins. In when you can arrive to the line, you may be a little in disadvantage, but then if you can control the field properly, it gives you important advantage, since you can control two people's. And they can, the duels can, when they are down, they can get up and hit with one sword without grabbing the other one.
That's also interesting. I think it is okay now in Germany to drop your shield, count with the shield hand, and that hasn't been possible in former times because we only had, or almost only had, strap shields, and the center grip shields came up later. But now with the center grip shield, this has become an option, and hit with the short sword as soon as you can get up. So before you had to drop your short sword and grab it before you could get up, but now it's the other way around. You would have to grab your shield. So that's interesting. That's a bit more like your double shorts. And I think
you have to grab the shield to make valid hit or not? When you are,
that has been a discussion, and I think it's still an interesting discussion because formally you have to, where you are a shield player, and when you're active you have to have shield and short sword. So one faction says, of course, you have to hold your shield while hitting because that's your combination that you're playing. But the other faction says, why no? Because they have a short sword and they hit with the short sword, not with the shield. And if they decide to drop or not grab the shield, then it's their choice. So that's quite a discussion right now. I'm not sure what the general view on it is currently because it's not the most central topic and not so much under discussion. I think play-wise, it's like just hit when you can. So no matter whether you grab your shield or not, just hit. You have to start getting up, so this means lifting up your knee and taking your hand from your back. But I don't think that it's generally required to grab your shield first. But I wouldn't count on this. I'm not absolutely sure about it because it's such a marginal question, and I personally play a strap shield, so it doesn't matter too much for me. But just as a side note,
here in Spain, you have to with shields. To make a valid hit, you have to grab both the sword and the shield.
Okay, good.
When you are dead, you can grab either the sword or the shield.
Okay.
Everyone chooses to grab the shield because you have more defense. But yeah, you have to grab both. It's only with the dual Pompfen that you can just hit with one hand. I don't like especially this rule because then a dual Pompfen always is a danger when they are down because they can hit you before you notice. So you always have to pin them. But well,
it's like it is, as it is.
The current state.
Apropos the double spars, double shorts. Did you observe any more reckless behavior of the double shorts than of the other spar players? So charging in, jumping in, stuff like that, because that are things that in Germany players tend to worry much about. If we give them double shorts, then they tend to ignore hits more, and they tend to charge in more. What's your impression about that?
Yeah, it's not only with dual shorts, but the short ranged weapons, shields and dual swords. They have less range, so they have to come closer to the enemy. So to some extent, it's understandable. It's true that they tend to jump more. You have to be more agile to play those kind of
That's an interesting difference, by the way, historically, between the German and the Spanish style, because in Germany we had, for a long time, we had more strap shields and we had more of a static play with shields. While in Spain or with Spanish teams, we could observe that they were playing much more dynamically, and that especially the shields played much more aggressively, so positively speaking, so charging in and trying to score a quick hit instead of sort of dueling it out the slow way. And the interesting thing Seamus said in my last interview with him for the Strategy Club was that he he categorized two play styles. The Spanish play style as it wasn't disruption, not that bad. So to speak, a chaos playstyle. I always forget the term he used. Sorry, Seamus. And then the more static push playstyle by the German faction. So the two lines in Germany are charging at each other, dueling it out, and with the push playstyle, the outer position tries to knock out their opponent, and then they try to double against the next, and double against the next, and double against the next, and just win their duels right down the line. While in the Spanish play style, you have more of a dynamic fanning out and trying to get around the team and causing havoc and chaos, sort of.
Yeah, this has evolved a lot in these last years. I would say it's more strategic, but it tends to become more complex.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of more variables to have in mind. For example, if you have the basic strategy that everyone plays when it starts playing Jugger, it's you came to the line, you face the opponent in front of you, and if you win, then go for the next. Basic, if it works, safe if you are better than the one who's in front of you. But when you start to, for example, the chains, they don't shoot straight at the opponent. They tend to cross the shoots, and not only to the right on the side of the. If you, for example, if you are the chain is in 4, okay, generally it shoots to 4 or maybe 3. Here it may choose to 2, even to 1 sometimes. And as the chain moves, all the other players have to move around the chain. So everything becomes more complex and sometimes chaotic. But you can tell that the teams who control better the fields and this growth on the lines became the ones who control it the best are often on the top side of the ranking.
Yeah, I think it has become a mix of both play styles in any case, at least with more experienced teams, so that this categorization is sort of a base category, but in practice on the tournaments you will observe teams playing, if they are good, flexibly with sort of both play styles, either mixing them or adapting them to their opponents, which play style fits best, sort of. But it's interesting to have this history, sort of different kinds of play in any case.
Now, I would say the Spanish Juggers play more as a one block than as an individual players. Well, the main difference between the two rulebooks in Spain, the chain. In the global Spanish rulebook, if the kete is live and the chain is in movement, it always kills. If it's on the floor and it's moving a little bit and you step on it, you are die.
Okay.
In the other one, it's not so. Once you have to make first 180 degrees to start a valid hit, and as you make the shoot, in the next stone, everything that the ball hits or wraps around dies. If it hits you and bounces to the other player, it is going down. If it hits the floor but then hits you, you have the kete like this. It's not grab, but it's the death, the ball.
Okay.
If I pursue the kete in the global Spanish rulebook, and the ball hits me in my arm, I'm dead. In the other rulebook, no. In the Zaragoza rulebook, no. After that stone, since the ball hasn't made any 100-degree, etc., it doesn't kill me.
Well,
I like it more for that, but it's true that the stone that you have to wait, it's some of subjective.
yeah.
When you play it, for me, it's more natural. When after the duel with a chain, the chain imagine the chain has killed the Pompfen, but the chain ends up wrapped around the Pompfen. After you can start counting after the chain is unwrapped.
Okay. So wrapping doesn't count.
Yeah. So both are interested on untangling the chain.
That's wise.
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah. In Germany, it's like you have to help and you have to release or you don't actually have to release your spar, but you should release your spar if you are hit by a chain or if you are hit as a chain player. So you're releasing either chain or spar, and you have to help the other one to unwrap it. But I think it's not actually defined that you have to wait until you start counting until the chain is free. But this solution sounds very good for cooperation and forces it in any case. So nice.
You can move the Jugg. You cannot pin. For example, if you are a dual source, you cannot try to hold it with both swords. You cannot transport it in your shield, but you can move it by hitting it. Oh, well, if the Jugg is flying, you cannot swing at the Jugg, but you can interpose your Pompfen to stop it from flying.
So it's not like a bat.
Yeah,
but not baseball.
Exactly. In the global Spanish rulebook, when the next stone sounds, you can move. In the Zaragoza's rulebook, you have to wait a complete stone, not just not the sound, but the complete time of the stone. Yeah, we have the two referees in the middle, the two in each base, and then the teams can ask for personal referees. Yeah. Here's a matter of discussion between the two rule books. I'll talk first of the general rule book. There are always what we call serious faults, and then there's exceptions to the serious faults. In general, if a referee have to intervene and stop you from playing, you have a serious fault. Except, for example, if it's a hit that you cannot feel, for example, in your shirt that doesn't touch your skin, for example. But, for example, if you have a duel with someone, we play against each other. You said doubles, I said mine. If I continue running and the referee puts me down, fault for me. But if I stop and we both ask for the referee and the referee says down or continue, then nothing happens.
Okay. Any last thoughts that you would like to share?
Well, special thanks for having me here.
Pleasure.
It's a pleasure to finally talk screen to screen.
Yeah.
Let's hope that someday we can talk face to face and even play against each other.
Yes,
in the
that
match.
would be a pleasure. A nice duel. Very good.
Indeed. And that's it. I hope that a lot of people came to Spain to play the WCC. And that's it. Good luck, and we'll see each other in the field.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us. Thank you very much for joining us for this interview at Who's Jugger
Thank you.
Tutorials, and I only can recommend anyone who didn't already to join PlayJugger on YouTube and watch his videos, which are great. Many are with international subtitles, so the language barrier is hopefully not that great, and it gives a brilliant insight in the Jugger playing style of Spain. So highly recommended. And let's look forward to the WCC. Thank you very much for your time, and see you soon again on video or even live. Who knows? Have a good
Thank
time.
you.
See you. Bye.
You do. Bye.
Woo!